Good afternoon and welcome back to TMNtv News. I'm Alicia Fireherm and the date is October 10th, 2022. We had a busy week here at Fort Hays with Homecoming and Oktoberfest. We'll have more on those events coming up, but first we'll take a look at national and other campus news. Hurricane Ian first made landfall in Fort Myers, Florida on September 28th. According to the Tribune News Service, more than 100 storm-related deaths have since been reported, 54 coming from Lee County, which is where Fort Myers is located. The storm brought winds reaching 150 miles per hour and an estimated 18-foot-high storm surge, leaving behind crushed homes and buildings. Moving forward, the Florida Division of Emergency Management is working with the Federal Emergency Management Agency to open shelters in Lee and 18 additional counties. Since announcing a plan that would cancel up to $20,000 of student loan debt for Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 for non-Pell Grant recipients, the Biden administration has had to slightly change the qualifications for forgiveness. According to NPR correspondent Corey Turner, lawsuits have been filed by conservative politicians, interest groups, and attorneys on the basis that the relief plan is an illegal abuse of power. One of the changes the administration made is borrowers can now opt out of the debt relief. A more impactful change, however, is borrowers of federal family education loans no longer qualify for the relief plan. In a Weekend Edition segment that aired on October 1st, Turner stated that this change could affect anywhere between 800,000 to 4 million individuals, but the exact number is not yet known. Applications for debt forgiveness are open until November 15th, a month and a half before the loan payment pause expires on December 31st. On September 22nd, the Fort Hays Student Government Association was told that tuition will most likely increase by a slight margin for next year. According to Vice President for Administration and Finance, Wesley Winch, the increase is needed to make up for lost revenue, which has been caused by a decrease in enrollment and rising inflation. Rising inflation will also cause a slight increase in housing and dining rates. How much each rate will increase is not known at this time. Housing and dining rates will be set next month, while tuition will be decided in May. More information on this story, including what tuition, housing, and dining money pays for, can be found on TigerMediaNet.com. On Saturday, the College of Education is hosting a Memorial 5K in honor of Serena Blasky, a Fort Hays student who passed away last December. The race starts at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Hammond Hall parking lot. Money raised from the registration fees will be used to help fund a scholarship set up by the Blasky family. Serena is remembered by many for her friendliness and love for others. Here is Caleb King, one of the race's organizers, on why students and community members should participate.
Because the world did lose a great soul last December when she passed, and this is just a great way to honor her and continue her legacy and just her contagious smile that she had. And so, yeah, everyone should just come out and participate. It'll be a fun day.
The registration form for the race can be found on the College of Education's Facebook page or by searching Serena Blasky Memorial 5K on TigerLink. On Wednesday, Forsyth Library is hosting an online Kansas LGBTQ+ Leadership Symposium, sponsored by the LGBT Resource Center at Kansas State University, taking place from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The conference will highlight the work that libraries and archives do for the LGBTQ+ community in Kansas. TMN spoke with Forsyth Library's digital curation librarian, Mary Elizabeth Turner, about the impact of the symposium.
So, last year, we all went to the Kansas LGBTQ Leadership Conference at K-State, which is an event they've been having. And in talking with leadership there was a desire to make that more accessible to people all across the state, because not everybody has the ability to travel to Manhattan for these kinds of things, but we still wanted to give the same opportunities. And so there were a lot of people who enjoyed the pandemic version of the conference, which was a free online event. And so we got to talking about how could we have the most impact in some of these communities. And like I said before, in fact, most communities out here don't have an LGBTQ resource center, and many of their schools don't have GSAs, but most of them have public libraries. And so by supporting public libraries in this way, and school librarians, we can get these resources out to some of these underserved communities in western Kansas.
More on this event will be posted on TigerMediaNet.com later. After a few cold and rainy days last week during Oktoberfest, we can look forward to some warmer and sunny days this week. Highs will mostly be in the 70s with lows ranging between 30 and 50 degrees. The warmest day of the week will be tomorrow with a high of 88 and a low of 48. Sunday will be the coldest day of the week with highs only reaching 61 degrees and a low of 31. So get out there and soak up the sun before those colder temperatures start rolling around. As always, if you want to keep up with this forecast as it changes, you can stay up to date at kwch.com. When we come back, Reagan Neufeld and Caden Sanders with sports.
When you transfer to Fort Hays State University, you discover unmatched affordability, convenience, and powerfully supportive faculty and staff, all with a determination that matches yours. Complete your degree and leap forward in your life and career with Fort Hays State University Online, the best value in education anywhere.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. I'm Reagan Neufeld.
And I'm Caden Sanders, here to bring you your weekly sports update. Both the men's and women's cross-country teams competed in the Gaines Creek Classic hosted by Missouri University, and both teams finished in the top 5 as the men's team finished with a team final of 4th place. Grant Bradley finished in 5th place individually, and Ethan Fisher finished 18th out of 150 runners. The women's team, on the other hand, finished 2nd at the meet, with Reagan Hodson, J.C. Vath, and Darian Hodgins finished in 5th, 6th, and 7th individually. The team had 5 runners within the top 21 runners out of 120. This week, the team will be in Colby this Saturday to compete in their final regular season meet before they compete in the MIAA Championship.
We should continue to see success from both teams as the season goes on. Speaking of success, in golf, the women's team competed Saturday and Sunday at the Augustana Fall Regional Preview in Larchwood, Iowa. Junior Morgan Brasser was tied for the lead after the first round before pulling away, resulting in a first-place finish out of 66 competitors. Brasser beat the second-place finisher by 3 strokes. Shauna Lee and Aaliyah North tied for 33rd place, followed by Kerrigan Rudolph and Lexi Ritter, who finished 41st and 53rd. As a team, the Tigers finished 6th. Their next competition will be the Midwest Classic next Monday and Tuesday, hosted by Northwest Missouri State. The men's team will also be in action on those days, competing at the Newman Fall Invitational.
The men's and women's soccer team had a rough weekend this past weekend as they did not get the results that they both wanted. The men's team only had one game this week as they traveled to Newman to take on the winless Jets. The Jets scored the first and only goal of the match as Carlos Manchon scores in the 48th minute of the match. The Tigers are back in action this week as they take on 2 GAC opponents in Ouachita Baptist and Harding. The women's soccer team, on the other hand, is looking to win another couple of crucial games to lock a spot in the MIAA tournament within the next month. But the Tigers finished in 2 ties. On Friday, the Tigers tied Northeastern State 0-0. On Sunday, the Tigers finished the game with a 1-1 tie. The Tigers are back home this week against Missouri Southern and the third best team in the nation in Central Missouri.
The volleyball team had a successful week, going 3-0, bringing their overall record to 9-10 while they moved to 4-7 in conference games. The Tigers swept Emporia and Missouri Southern in their games on Tuesday and Friday before battling to a 3-2 win against Pittsburgh on Saturday. In that game, outside hitter Micah Eschbaugh led the Tigers with a career-high 21 kills. I was able to talk to Eschbaugh and libero Jaden Daffer after their game on Tuesday. Here's what they had to say.
I think something we're going to improve on is get some more wins underneath our belt, start putting all the pieces together, and something we're going to take away from today is some confidence and some good communication.
Yes, I would definitely agree. Confidence just within this next weekend and throughout the rest of the season, and just playing well together.
The Tigers take on the number 12 ranked Washburn Ichabods tomorrow evening in Gross Memorial Coliseum starting at 6 o'clock.
Speaking of Eschbaugh, she just won the Offensive Player of the Week for the MIAA. The football team entered the week in unfamiliar territory with the 1-4 start on the year, but with it being homecoming, once again the fans showed up to the game to watch the Tigers, but it was all Ichabods throughout the entire game on all sides of the ball. As Washburn won 45-14, the Ichabods scored early and often as Washburn scored 2 touchdowns and then get a fumble recovery from a punt in the back of the end zone. The Ichabods cruised after a couple of more touchdowns in the third quarter. The Tigers moved to 1-5 on the year and traveled to Central Oklahoma to take on the Broncos. And finally, the men's and women's basketball coaches will be in Kansas City tomorrow as the MIAA hosts their annual media day. To watch that, you can go to the MIAA app or the MIAA network. That wraps up this week's sports update. You can find all updates with Fort Hays Athletics throughout this week on TigerMediaNetwork.com.
In just a moment, we'll hear from Katie Rivera about recent entertainment news. But before we go, here's a look at this week's athletic schedule.
Last week was an eventful week for Fort Hays as the homecoming festivities came to a close. The homecoming candidates met with students on campus on Thursday at the Union. In case you may not be aware how homecoming candidates are selected, candidates are chosen after an application and interview process in order to select students that are passionate about Fort Hays and their peers and classmates. Student engagement planned Fort Hays' annual homecoming bonfire on Thursday evening. With nearly 400 pallets stacked and burned, students were able to come and enjoy food trucks, s'mores, and the FHSU marching band, Tiger Debs, and cheerleaders perform.
Tigers! Roar! Tigers! Roar! Tigers! Roar! Tigers! Roar!
The homecoming bonfire was a large-scale event attended by Fort Hays State students in celebration of our annual homecoming. It took place on the lawn outside Robbins Center. Several attendees sat on the lawn, in the bleachers, or just stood, with some bringing their pets along with them. In addition, a few miniature fire pits and a table were set up so people could roast marshmallows and make their very own s'mores. The event began with a pep rally featuring the Fort Hays State cheerleaders, the marching band, and our mascot, Victor E. The homecoming royalty candidates and the Hays football team were later introduced. Football coach Chris Brown gave a short but rousing speech while on stage.
Our one job is to go get this W on Saturday. And our guys will work their tails off to do that this whole week, so come support us. I want to thank our student section. Keep doing what you're doing. It is amazing what you're doing. I want to thank our other teams, our other athletes that come to support us as well. Let's go defend the fort Saturday, boys. Go Tigers.
Some students in attendance have been going to homecoming for as long as they can remember, but for some, it is their first experience at homecoming. Australian student Kieran Brown is one such case.
Well, I never had a homecoming before. We don't do them in Australia, so this is my first proper one helping out, so I'm about to find out what it means.
With the Hayes Fire Department in attendance to make sure all went according to plan, the actual bonfire started around 7:45 in the afternoon and saw a large pile of wooden pallets be set ablaze. The fire would continue into the night as students went back to their dorms. With this event happening, freshman Madison Boyston, another student experiencing Fort Hays State homecoming for the first time, gave her thoughts on the celebration as a whole.
To me, I think other people get out of homecoming is just a great experience, and it's a great environment for everybody because everyone puts in all effort to make it amazing.
Bonfire is one of many events meant to celebrate Fort Hays homecoming, with the parade set for Saturday morning on October 8th. With Tiger Media Network, I am Nick McCoy.
While Coach Brown had optimistic comments on Thursday evening, as Kate had mentioned before, it was not a very happy ending for Fort Hays fans this week. It was an early morning Saturday for Hays America as the homecoming parade made its march downtown, traveling nearly 30 blocks. Student organizations and local businesses all participated in this event, and hundreds of Hays residents watched and hopefully filled their bags with candy. During halftime of the football game, the homecoming candidates made their way to the field to find out who would be crowned FHSU 2022 Homecoming Queen and King. Last year's royalty, Clade Anderson and Jenna Brumaker, did the honors of crowning the 2022 royalty, Enrique Cabrera and Luz Gomez. Congratulations, Enrique and Luz. Be sure to come back next week for more entertainment news and drama updates, but for now, that concludes Getting Cultured with Katie. After this break, Alicia will be back with more news.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
We know you'll love what you see here on our campus in Hays, America.
With over 200 academic programs, small classroom sizes, and a 96% success rate, we will make sure you get the tools you need to succeed.
We are proud to offer you 120 clubs and student organizations, over 300 different intramural activities, and countless other ways to get involved here on campus.
As the most affordable four-year institution in the entire state, we are excited to offer you the best value in education anywhere. Not to mention our robust scholarship programs to help minimize that stress of paying for college.
We hope you enjoyed Tiger Nation, and we can't wait for you to see yourself here.
Welcome back. Here's a look at more local events and news. Kansas House candidates for the 111th District, Ed Hammond and Barb Wassinger, are taking place in a debate on Wednesday night. The debate begins at 6 o'clock in the Rose Garden Banquet Hall, with doors opening at 5:30. Tiger Media Network will also be live streaming the event on our YouTube page. During homecoming, Fort Hays celebrates the Volga German heritage of the surrounding areas. The event was not only about the adult beverages, but the meaning for their locals and their ancestry. During the event, attendees watched the tapping of the cake, the Grand Wedding March, and a booth from the Ellis County Historical Society. On Saturday, the event was geared toward family-friendly events, but the key moment of the day was local chef Phil Kuhn making one of the largest beer rocks in the world. The beer rock weighed in at 96 pounds. TMN reporter Tierney McGivney was able to catch up with some of the festival goers.
Hello, my name is Tierney McGivney here at Tiger Media Network, and today we are here at Oktoberfest in Hays, Kansas, and we are going to be doing Das oder Dis. Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bratwurst.
Do you have a reason why?
I just like bratwurst better.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bratwurst.
Dis oder Das, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock. Bratwurst.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Definitely bratwurst.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock 100%.
Do you have a reason why?
Yeah, because my family is German and my grandma would make German food all the time at Christmas, and it was always Bierrocks over bratwurst. That's always what we had.
Okay. Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock.
Do you have a reason why?
Because my family always makes them together.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Definitely a Bierrock. A bratwurst.
Hey, thank you. Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Gotta be Bierrock.
Do you have a reason why?
Yeah, you can get a bratwurst anywhere, but you can get a good Bierrock just a few places. Hays, Kansas, probably the best.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bratwurst.
Do you have a reason why?
The spiciness of the bratwurst makes it the best with sauerkraut.
Okay.
Jawohl.
Thank you. Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrocks, because my grandma made more Bierrocks than bratwurst.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Look at my shirt, 2006 Oktoberfest, Bierrock.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Brat, for sure. Bierrock, 100%.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Bierrock.
Das oder Dis, Bierrock or Bratwurst?
Oh, bratwurst, definitely. I mean, Bierrocks are good, but if I had the choice, definitely bratwurst, especially with sauerkraut.
Okay. This has been Das or Dis with Tierney McGivney, and you're watching Tiger Media Network.
Amidst all the homecoming activities, a press conference was held on Friday morning to announce a new training center for the Fort Hays shotgun team. The project has been kickstarted by a $60,000 donation from Lorena Kellogg and her late husband Wilmer. The shotgun team currently consists of 30 members and has won 8 national championships since the program started in 2005. Be watching TigerMediaNet.com this week for more information about the team and their new training center. Barn Hoppers hosted a country dance lesson last Friday. Students were able to learn how to swing dance, two-step, and line dance. Barn Hoppers host their next country dance lessons next Thursday in the Union Ballroom at 6 p.m. Last Tuesday, Alpha Sigma Alpha hosted Dogs on the Quad, an event benefiting the Humane Society of the High Plains. Students were able to play with the dogs and make dog toys. Here's more on that event from TMN reporter Jillian Lynch.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Winter, and I'm the Service and Giving Chairman for Alpha Sigma Alpha here on campus. And today I am hosting Dogs on the Quad to raise money for the Humane Society of the High Plains here in Hays.
Okay, my favorite part about Dogs on the Quad is that all of our profits go to the Humane Society, which we are able to help them.
And that's a wrap on today's TMN TV News. To stay up to date with local, state, and national news, visit TigerMediaNet.com as well as our social media pages. Thank you for watching. I'm Alicia Fireherm, and we'll see you next time.